I mean, I cry still all the time whenever I'm faced with something I don't know how to handle, but I at least know how to take a breath, step back, and look at where people are coming from.
Yeah.
And so sometimes, like, I'll get pissed off about something because I'm defensive because, one, I don't know entirely the whole story, which is usually when I get defensive is when I don't know something. And then I look at the person that's telling me, do they know something that I don't know? Is there knowledge that I should be extracting from them? Or do we both need to learn?
Yeah.
And then, so I now look at situations and scenarios like that where I'm like, where am I faulting and where do I need to meet in the middle? Mm-hmm. And like, how do I approach this person better? So you've definitely taught me that.
That's awesome.
I mean, you definitely cough a lot and make a lot of weird noises with your nose. And
That's true.
Blow your nose really loud.
I don't know. Have I ever blown my nose on the show?
I don't think so, but I have to pee really bad. So can I do that?
Yeah.
Do you have stuff to talk about?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So I was filing my papers and...
So you're going to say, so I was masturbating.
So I was masturbating, everyone. And then I started bruising really easily. No.
Why are you bruising?
No, I do. I feel like it takes a lot to kind of realize where your strong suits are and what you have to bring to the table. And it's taken me a long time to figure out what that is. I think it's easy to judge other people, look outside and go, oh, you need to do this, or that person's great at that. Why don't they just do that? It's so hard to see yourself subjectively, I guess. And we can hear you peeing.
Oh, good. You're going to hear me wash my hands for 30 seconds, too.
It's 20 seconds. 10 seconds is way too long. Then you're susceptible to other viruses.
Don't give the people wrong news.
Oh, Jesus.
Fake news.
It's fake news, bro. Oh, why'd you flush?
Sorry.
It's all good. No, see,
Good, I'm washing my hands.
we have a
Lathering.
water heater.
I'm interlinking the fingers, and I'm washing the thumbs.
Good.
Can you hear it?
Oh, God. Okay, that's not good. That's not good. Anyways, we have a water heater that's in the basement.
The water's so cold.
And basically when water's being used, the fan has to kick on to exhaust from the water heater. Luckily, the toilet doesn't have hot water hooked up to it. I want hot water hooked up to it because that's our bidet. And that would be scrumptious.
Don't attack your brother.
We need to get a new bidet.
Did you?
Yeah, with heated water.
I want that for the upstairs.
They got, what is it?
Fuck that. You get the cold water down here.
Damn.
Plus, the cold water is pretty nice for when, like, your booty is your buddy and your booty could go both ways.
Your booty buddy. Jesus, you fucking caused an earthquake.
Because my fat ears. So, but your booty, when you have like a fiery poo.
Yeah, too much Thai food.
Yeah.
Those little red peppers.
Or just eating hot Cheetos.
Or hot chatos. Yeah. No, our water, it goes down to like 40 degrees here. Like, that's just out of the tap.
That gave me chills.
40 degrees.
No, I don't think that's the coldest.
I don't think it's the coldest either.
We need to do it when it's snowing outside. That's when we have to check it.
What is it? Yeah. When we had a whole week of like sub temperatures. Oh man, that water is frigid. I took a cold shower today and it felt great.
Sometimes I shave my legs in hot water and then I put cold water on them so it sucks up the pores and the hair doesn't grow as fast.
I thought that made your hair grow fast.
No, when you get the chills, it grows fast. You just like rinse your legs under and then the hair or the pores get cold, like the little hair follicle holes.
Okay.
Helps me. But I also don't shave my legs for like four weeks out of the winter.
Yeah.
Like when it's really wintry, it's an extra layer of hair. There's
You need that for insulation.
you do.
Do you feel like you know? I was talking about knowing your attributes, like what you have to bring to the table, and it's taken a lot for me to realize what, my strength, and to look at yourself subjectively.
I would say in the last year, I've noticed I bring sensitivity and laughter.
That's good.
I've kind of started adventuring into my voice of being able to say things when I'm uncomfortable. And I don't know if that's like so like my sister and I were primarily raised by our grandparents.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's something they taught us as far as being ladylike, and you don't, I mean, I'm definitely not ladylike, but like you don't fucking say when you're uncomfortable. Like, and that's a certain generation that has that, where you just keep going with the flow. You just don't ever really mention when you're uncomfortable with things.
Yeah,
I say it when I'm uncomfortable.
There's a big difference in Malcolm Gladwell's Outliers, that book. He mentions kids who assert themselves into situations, they're taught it basically through their parents and how their parents. And it's not like, basically, you see this a lot more with poor kids. It's a cultural thing where the parents will teach their kids to don't speak when spoken to, unless spoken to, keep your head down. And they start you off as being kind of a submissive, that you're lower class, even though they're not saying you're lower class.
Yeah.
They're just saying, hey, when you're an adult, you'll get a say.
Yeah.
But that programs your mind to like not assert yourself, where kids who have better educations have more things readily available because they're financially more stable, upper middle class and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Typically,
or more assertive.
Yeah, their parents actually teach that more, and that you can weigh those two things out and physically see the demographics there. Like,
that's crazy.
Yeah, and those kids do better. It's like wealthier kids do better, and they become wealthy because of that kind of mindset, because of those little things you learn of being asserting yourself in this situation.
And I think that's crazy because a lot of our generation not having kids, and kind of going into that, I've noticed that the people that are having kids in our generation, whether or not of their status money-wise, financially, they're a lot better at telling their kids to say no when they feel uncomfortable. They're starting to, I feel like there's a switch that's happening, like where you break the cycle, and where maybe not everyone, but it's a substantial amount to where you teach your kid to say no when they don't want to be touched. Or like our kid, when we have him or her, if you don't want to hug someone, don't hug them. If you don't want to do something by your choice, don't fucking do it. I don't care. But do it for, like, have a reasoning. Like, if it's your uncle and aunt and they want to give you a hug, go give them a hug. Like, they're
you should
family.
Show love.
Like, show the love. But I'm not going to force you into it either. Like, I want you to make that decision for yourself. You're a person. And as much as I say, like, oh, they're growing up to be a little person, because it's true. To a certain extent, they're not their own person until a certain age. And then they start to be that person. Like,
yeah, you have to give them the guidelines to kind of form their own person.
And I want
we're the architects of our own reality.
Like, I want our kid to be open, and I want our kid not to shut people down because they have a different opinion than they do. I want them to be open, and I want them to see all sides of the situation before determining a exact solution or confrontation. Like, look at it in all directions. And I think that's kind of where I come from too, as far as like meeting all of the interviewees that I have, and very different people in all different aspects. that I can't just judge a person off that one experience, because they could be super intimidated or scared or nervous. And that's going to make you a totally different person than when you're in your element. You know what I mean? Like when you're like, if a woodworker, say you come into my office, you have no idea who I am. You want a carpentry job.
Yeah.
I talk with you. I don't really know all of the things I'm talking about the job that I'm trying to get you.
Right. You know
but I'm just trying to read you as a person to see if you're going to be a good worker.
Right. Am I tweaking out?
Exactly.
Right. Do I have a knife in my
when
neck?
I say, can you pass a background if you tell me whether or not, like, if you have
Sure.
to think about it or you say sure, that's not a yes or no. I need a clear, concise answer. And so I read so many of those as a recruiter versus the actual job description. You meeting with the employer at that point is a totally different thing, because they're going to ask you things that you are supposed to 100% know.
Yeah.
And when you show that light and you're comfortable and you know that you're getting a job that you're interested in, then you're a totally different person than in my interview.
Yeah. And it took me, because I think my parents actually did a good job of teaching me to be assertive and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I was naturally kind of submissive as a kid and shy. And I think that was because I was terrible at school.
Yeah.
But,
and you also had a lot of, and I'm not saying women are submissive. If anything, they're the other side. But that's what I'm trying to say, is that all of the women you were raised with that are now women
made
now,
me submissive.
100%.
Because they're all alpha
They're
bitches.
all so strong. And so I'm basically saying, like, you had like probably 60% chance of becoming a gay guy.
Yeah.
Like like if you were to choose
Yeah,
to be bisexual, it would be you. Like, you're the product of bisexual. But
Right. I didn't have a choice. I was
Yeah.
like super hetero as a first grader. I would drop crayons and look under girls' skirts and get little baby boners.
you did get a lot of baby boners.
And I was all, and I was like, yeah,
And then that's when it was like, whoa,
this is neat.
I'm an alpha mega. Or what is it? Alpha beta. You're a beta.
Fuck you.
I'm the alpha, you're the beta.
Fuck off.
It's true. I bite the dog's ears all the time. They know who's boss. I feed them. Fucking cut their raw meat.
Who allows them to eat?
I
Under
do.
my
I'm
roof.
the one that fucking shows my hand and then they go forward.
Do I have to bite you and drag you to the floor in front of our dogs?
Could you imagine? That'd be pretty great.
You're like,
I mean, you could bite me, Daddy.
what was I talking about? I was making a point. I was
I don't
leading
know.
up to my
I feel
point.
like I had a point, but my brain is now turning into mush because I've had too many gins.
Fuck.
I haven't even had that much. I think I've had like a shot and a half, but that's enough for me.
Oh, I've gotten a lot better at being assertive. You were talking about doing job interviews and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like, because I don't do well in certain settings, quiz settings, anything.
You're not a good
like,
test taker.
yeah, like people that stand over my shoulder and ask me to do something and they're going to watch me.
I'm not good at that either, though.
That's where I'm going to make mistakes. And it's weird because I do great under pressure. Like if it's any other type of pressure, if it's actual pressure.
If it's not someone, so like this is the best way that I can relate to you right now is I can type and stare at my computer screen, so I can not look at my keyboard, stare at my computer screen and type what I want to. The minute Christy or Dixie or someone stands next to me while I'm typing, I all of a sudden have to look at my keyboard and I'm making mistakes left and right.
Yeah.
Like, I can't fucking do it. But there's so many times where I'm under pressure. I have a phone call coming in. I'm fucking emailing. And I need to, like, go do an interview. And then I'm just like,
I know. I
have no...
I have to, like, focus on what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But I've, like, in job interviews or just working with new people, when they ask something of me that I know is not going to go well, like... I can fucking do crown molding.
Yeah.
Like a motherfucker. I know that. But if you do like a Home Depot test, it's all in words. So you have to use, okay, that's a 45-degree miter bevel to the right or whatever. The word fuck those words.
Yeah.
That means nothing to me.
Yeah.
I can see it and then I can do it. I know the degrees of it,